You ever find yourself in an online argument passionately defending your phone brand? Or maybe you feel this little surge of pride when someone compliments your favorite coffee shop. Well, if you have, you're not alone. There's a really fascinating reason we do this, and today we're going to break down the psychology behind it all.
It really all comes down to this one question, doesn't it? When we pull out our wallets, are we just buying a thing? Or are we buying into something much, much bigger, like an idea, a community, or even a dream?
Because here's the secret. Our deepest loyalties, they're almost never just about the product itself. They're driven by this fundamental, very human need to connect with others and feel like we're part of something.
Now, to really get to the bottom of this, we're going to look at a super interesting dissertation that studied this exact thing, and it picked the perfect place to do it: private clubs. I mean, think about it. They are the ideal laboratory for understanding why people pay a premium just for a sense of belonging.
And we're not talking about a small niche market here. The private club industry in the U.S. pumps over $21 billion into the economy. So figuring out what makes a member truly loyal, that's not just some academic exercise. It is a huge deal for business.
So what did this research actually find? Well, it all starts with this incredibly powerful, almost primal feeling. Psychologists have a name for it: the psychology of mind.
And that brings us to the core idea: psychological ownership. It's that deep down gut feeling that something, a brand, a cafe, a sports team, is yours. And here's the crucial part. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether you have a receipt or a deed to prove it.
Okay, so here's a super simple way to see the difference. Legal ownership, that's black and white. Society recognizes it. You have a piece of paper, it's objective. But psychological ownership, that is all in your head. It's a personal, subjective feeling. It's not, I paid for this. It's just, this is mine.
And here's the perfect example. Think about your favorite spot at the office. You don't own it, right? But you probably call it my desk. You might even get a little annoyed if someone else sits there. But when you talk about the whole company, you say our office. That's the difference right there between individual and collective psychological ownership. So how does this feeling even happen? Well, the research points to three main pathways. First, we need to feel like we have some control over it. Second, we get to know it really, really well, like knowing the menu at your favorite restaurant by heart. And third, and this might be the biggest one, we invest a piece of ourselves in it: our time, our energy, our passion.
Okay, so once that powerful feeling of mind starts to grow, it becomes the foundation for the ultimate prize that every business is chasing: real, unbreakable loyalty.
And let's be totally clear what we mean by loyalty. It's not just buying the same thing over and over. The official definition calls it a deeply held commitment. It means you're going to stick with it even when a competitor offers a discount or something goes wrong. It's a real choice.
But here's the thing. That kind of loyalty doesn't just pop up overnight. It's built in stages. It starts in your head, that's cognitive loyalty. You go to a gas station because it's cheap, it's just logic. Then it moves to your heart, affective loyalty. Now you go because you actually like the staff. Then comes conative loyalty, you actively plan to go back. And finally, you get to action loyalty, where it becomes pure habit. You just pull in without even thinking.
And you can see here how it all connects in this journey from your head to your habits. Those first three stages, the thinking, the feeling, the planning, they all build up what we call attitudinal loyalty. That's your mindset. And once that attitude is strong enough, it drives the real goal for any brand: behavioral loyalty, where your support is just an automatic part of who you are.
But that feeling of mine isn't the only thing going on here. This is where it gets really cool, because there's another, equally massive force at play that cements our loyalty. And that is the simple, powerful idea of us.
This is all about our group identity. It's how we define ourselves by the tribes we join. Are you an Android person or an Apple person? A dog person or a cat person? These choices create our in-groups and out-groups. It helps us figure out who we are by figuring out who we're with and who we're not.
So what actually makes up this group identity? It really boils down to two things. First, there's the brainy part, the self-definition. That's just the logical thought. Yeah, I'm like these other people. But then comes the powerful part, the self-investment. That's the emotional stuff, the pride, the bond, that feeling you get from being part of the team.
And here is the absolute key takeaway. When our connection to a group gets strong enough, the group's influence can actually start to overpower our own personal preferences. Our loyalty is no longer just about what I think, it's about what we do.
So now that we get the psychology of mine and us, let's bring it all back to you. How does this actually show up in your day-to-day life? What do you feel like you own?
All of a sudden, it just clicks, right? That feeling of psychological ownership. That is exactly why you call it my coffee shop, even though you share it with hundreds of other people every single day.
And that powerful group identity? That's why you feel that incredible surge of pride when your team wins. You weren't on the field, but their victory feels like your victory.
And when you put those two feelings together, well, that's what makes you jump into the comment section to defend your brand of phone. Because an attack on the brand, on the group, it feels personal. It feels like an attack on you.
Because in the end, that's exactly what's happened. Through control and knowledge, and especially through investing yourself, you have woven a piece of your own identity into that product or that place. It's not just a thing anymore, it's a part of you.
So, that brings us to the final question, the one for you to think about. What are the brands, the places, the groups that you feel you own? And what is that fierce loyalty, that feeling of mine and us? What does it really say about who you are?